Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher, Fragments of Memory. It has been a while since I've made a video on this platform. Much has happened since I last made a video on YouTube. My wife and I are no longer living together. We are somewhat estranged. I was hit by a car on October 31st of last year, which broke my right ankle. My mother recently died of cancer this year. Due to working from home since the COVID outbreak and the following quarantine, I have become somewhat of a hermit. I've had a great deal of time to think about life, and like the Dionne Warwick song asked, what's it all about, Alfie? I have noticed that the conversations about male-female relationships have become tit-for-tat conversations, with each side playing gotcha. When I first came in contact with the manosphere or red pill content, I was a man who came out of a 3-year relationship, and I had a lot of bitterness towards the woman and how that relationship ended. I was tired of men being painted as the villains while women were upheld as holy angels. The red pill fed that bitterness. Even after getting married, I still held on to that bitterness in my own way. I remembered being made fun of by girls in school when I was a young boy. In my mind, the red pill was pulling back the veil to reveal that the great and powerful Oz, that was womanhood, was in fact just a person behind a curtain. I will admit that there was bitterness in me. I too wanted the unfavorable light that had been cast onto men to also be cast onto women. I had just gone through a breakup and was in the midst of a long-term singleness. So when it comes to the content of the manosphere, when it comes to the content of what many men have been talking about, I can rock with it, but I know I come from it in a bitter place. I had come to it with bitterness, but I think time has given me a little bit more perspective on things. And maybe that's what we need. We need time. We need that perspective. We need the perspective of thinking, not ruminating, because I am a complete ruminator, but just thinking. Just think and journal. That's a thing I've been doing a lot more lately. Even though I've always kept a notebook or a notepad or something like that, I always think people should just go ahead and journal. If you can't afford therapy, at least the journaling will help you get your thoughts down and get your thoughts organized, which is what I do often. Even if sometimes my journal entries feel like I'm just making lists and writing gibberish, it does help me make sense of my thoughts. And I think as we now are in these different times and with what's happened to me in my own personal life, it's got me kind of looking more introspectively than I usually am. It's making me think that life is too short to squabble and quibble and play tit for tat and get the other side to admit that they were wrong and everything, because ultimately you must tell your story and not try to convince people of the validity of your story. You should tell it and let it stand or fall where it may, on its own merit. So if people don't believe you, or they don't agree with everything you say, that's all right. That's okay. I think that's the best course of action. I think it's best to get it out of you than to keep it ruminating in your mind. So these past couple of years have given me a little bit more perspective. This is more of rambling and just musings again, but thank you very much for tuning in, whoever still is. Thanks.